Joining me from Perth is Iggy Tan from Altech Chemicals. Iggy, good to meet you. How are you?
How are you, Andrew?
Doing well, Iggy. Thanks very much. Well, give us a little reminder about Altech Chemicals.
Andrew, we are very focused on completing the funding for our project. As you know, we've got a high purity alumina project, and high purity alumina is used in LEDs and in lithium batteries. So a sector that is fast growing, and we're at the moment very focused on completing our financing. As you know, we have completed the first stage, which is a senior loan from KfW IPEX Bank, the German bank. And recently we've been focused on the balance of funds, which is a mezzanine debt and equity package of the funding process.
I want to ask you, Iggy, just the last couple of months, it's been tough given the pandemic, given COVID-19. How's Altech been impacted?
Well, obviously it's a difficult time. There's a lot of uncertainty, and but our team has been working very hard in continuing to work with companies like UBS, Macquarie, and different groups to continue with the funding process. We are also working with Altech Advanced Materials, a subsidiary we have listed in the Frankfurt Stock Exchange, and they have recently restructured the company and ready to start the roadshow process to raise $100 million US for 49% of the project. So that's the way we're going to deal with the equity component of the funding process.
Now, look, you've recently announced accreditation here as a green project, plus the intent to tap into the green bond market. Give us a bit more detail on this, Iggy.
Well, as you know, Andrew, there's a lot of interest in climate change projects and green projects, particularly so, I think, from the stimulus that governments are going to encourage the post-COVID in the economy. And so a lot of the funds are going to flow towards electric vehicles and lithium batteries, particularly in Europe. And so in order to be able to tap into the green bond market, we've recently accredited the project as a green project. So we embarked on the accreditation process with a group in Oslo, and they are one of the leading firms that accredited projects, and they've come up with a green category with a very good environmental governance, which helps us now market the project to the green bond market. So essentially it's the bond market, but the investors are very focused on investing in projects that will help the environment and climate change and so on.
And you're looking to purchase an additional site in Germany, are you?
Yes, so Andrew, we have a site in Johor in Malaysia, and if you follow the news, we have commenced construction of that plant in Malaysia to reduce all the risk of a greenfield site. So we managed to get environmental approval, construction permits, and we started clearing the site. We've built 2 buildings, the very large workshop that we will use during the construction phase, and we also built a major substation. So we've funded that in the last 2.5 years, and that's essentially to take away the risk of a greenfield site. So we're very focused on completing the funding for that site. However, with any of these, if there is such a positive demand coming from the sector, we have to think about where the long-term plans are going to be to meet that demand. And so we have selected Europe as where the next site should be because of the demand in electric vehicles. I don't know whether you're aware, but in Europe there is a target of 95 grams of CO2 per kilometer. And so a lot of the European car manufacturers have to move towards electric vehicles to meet that criteria. And so there's a massive push for EVs as well as battery plants in Europe. And they want to be less reliant on Asia for their materials. And so a lot of the raw materials are encouraged to be sourced within Europe. So we have an option to purchase agreement on a site that is in the state of Saxony, which is essentially East Germany. And it's not very far away from Tesla's gigafactory, a new gigafactory they're building, and a lot of the car manufacturers' EV manufacturing, so is very close by. So we're very focused on building and funding the first plant, but it's important to plan for the second plant because, you know, a lot of these plants take, you know, 5 to 6 years to build and finance. So the planning process has to start today.
Well, clearly, Iggy, busy times for you at the moment. What's coming up as far as news? What can we expect?
Well, we continue to focus on the completion of the funding. There is a lot of people that we are talking to, strategic investors as well as the international banks. So the team continues the work, even though COVID is impacting most of the world today. But, you know, as you know, the world has got used to meetings and on Zoom and various things. So we're getting used to the new normal. So we're still optimistic, and we're still working hard in completing the financing for our project. So still very exciting times ahead of us.
It's been good to get an update. Iggy, nice to see you. Thanks very much.
Thank you for your time.